Hey guys, Amanda here at Bare Bones Living, and last time I showed you how I used the tomatoes from the garden that I planted at my dad's house that I completely neglected, but it still produced a ton of fruit for me. And today I'm going to show you what I am doing with the peppers that I grew over there. I actually ended up planting a couple different varieties of orange bell peppers and Anaheim peppers and jalapeno peppers, but we only got a couple of those, and those I just froze and preserved that way. But my cayenne pepper plants produced a ton of peppers, and I'm so excited because today I'm actually going to make my first homemade hot sauce. So let me show you what I'm going to be doing with that. These are the cayenne peppers that I got from, I believe there was only 2 plants that I planted over there. But it's about a pound of cayenne peppers. And I'm going to be making my own homemade Tabasco sauce. So to a non-reactive pan, this is an enameled cast iron pan. So the enamel over the cast iron makes it non-reactive, or you could use a stainless steel pot. I'm going to be adding, this is 3 cups of water and 2 cups of white vinegar. And to that, I'm going to add a medium onion quartered, as well as I have here 3 small carrots, and I'm just going to roughly chop them. And 1 clove of my garlic that I grew that I'm also going to roughly chop. So I'll add all these into our pot.
I got it.
And then these cayenne peppers I've already washed, and I'm just going to cut the ends off. And I'll be adding those, all of these, to our pot. So all the ingredients are added to the brine. I also added a tablespoon plus a teaspoon of kosher salt. And I'm going to bring this to a boil and then simmer it for 45 minutes. Alright, so this has been simmering for 45 minutes. I've had my exhaust fan on medium because it's putting off some crazy fumes. And now I'm letting it cool to room temperature. So now that this is cooled, I actually want to strain out the brine. So I'm just going to pour it into this bowl with my colander over it to grab all the peppers and onions and garlic and carrots, and then that bowl will collect the brine, and I'll just add it as needed for the consistency that I want for this hot sauce. So then I added all the contents to my Vitamix blender, and this is just, again, the peppers, onions, garlic, and carrots, and I'll grind it up, adding some of the brine as I want to get to the consistency that I want. So that looks pretty thick to me. See if we can snag a little taste out of here. Ooh, that's good. So I used a Vitamix blender to chop all these ingredients up. And a Vitamix is strong enough to pulverize skin and seeds and things like that. But looking at this hot sauce, I can still see it's pretty chunky. I want this to be a thicker sauce, but I'm going to see if I can strain this sauce to catch some of this pulp in here and just make it a little smoother, because I don't really want to thin it out. So I'm just going to try. See what happens. And this might take some time and elbow grease, but we'll see what happens. And just doing this, I can see little bits of seeds in the sauce. But I don't really think that this is going to strain through this mesh colander, because it's a very fine mesh colander, and this, like I said, is a thicker sauce. So I may have to thin it out a little bit and strain it to get those bits out. And then I can always cook it down more, which is I think what I'm going to do. Oh wait, it's coming through. We got a little bit through. So I added probably a half of a cup of the brine to my mixture and processed it again, and then I put it through that mesh strainer, and it was a total pain in the butt because I had to smash it through the strainer repeatedly, but it came out with a beautiful thickness and a beautiful sauce. And I did it until I was sick of it, basically. And then I'll just bottle this up as the thicker hot sauce that I was wanting. And then with whatever is left in the blender, I'm gonna add more brine to and make a thinner sauce too, because when you're making your own, why not, right? You can try multiple things. So now I'm gonna try to bottle these up. I got these cute little jars with these tops on them for hot sauce off of Amazon, and I'm going to try my best to not make a huge mess out of this and fill these jars with my homemade sauce, hot sauce, and we'll see how this goes. not really sure how much is going to fit in each of these jars. And it's a pretty small funnel that I'm using to get into this jar. So it's going to take some time because, like I said, it's a thicker sauce. So it's definitely going to test patience. That's okay. It's actually working pretty well. It's going through fairly quick.
Sauce.
Pepper sauce. I don't know that you'll like this.
Pepper sauce?
Mm-hmm.
That's not even cooking hot pepper.
Well, hot sauce is pepper sauce, baby.
Hot sauce is pepper sauce?
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
So I'll just put on this lid.
Mom, how much are you going to give me to do that?
And then I have one jar
It looks like shit.
of hot sauce here.
Yeah, hot sauce.
And we'll see if I can get one more jar out of what's left. So this is what I came up with for my thick cayenne hot sauce. This is the first one that you saw me fill. And I got 2 more full ones. And then this last one, I just got kind of like a quarter of the jar filled. But that's awesome for my first batch. And this is my thick cayenne hot sauce. So I have what's left of the hot sauce plus the pulp that I got from what I siphoned out back in here, and I added some brine. And I might even add a little bit more brine after I start processing this to thin it out and see what I can come up with.
Which one?
Walnut. You want to hit it again, Hunter? Alright, so that is much
Yep.
thinner.
Yep.
Alright, so I'll again strain this. And now all of I can get all this, all the little bits out. And I can hear it's already draining through, which is great. And if I had thinned all this out before, I would have gotten a lot more volume, many more jars of hot sauce, but I really wanted that thick hot sauce consistency. So I was okay sacrificing the amount for the thickness that I wanted. I wanted something that could stick to my food or stick to a taco or something like that and not drip off and make a huge mess. And then this I'll use more in like as flavorings and soups and stews and chilies and things that I don't need something that can hold its structure, or I don't mind if it makes, you know, a runny mess because it's just going to be mixed in with other things. So I'll again just push this through the strainer. This is going so much faster than the last time that I did it. And I'll bottle it up. So I did just want to show you guys real quick. This is all the pepper pulp that I siphoned out. This is all skins, pulp, and mostly seeds. I don't know if you can see those like little white flecks in there. That's all the seeds that have been pulverized. So I just didn't want that in my sauce. So now we're gonna bottle up this thinner cayenne pepper sauce, and you'll see quite a difference in the thickness of this because this is just gonna pour right through. And I won't have to shake, shake, shake the whole time. Okay, so these are the hot sauces that I came up with. I came up with 3 full of the thick with a little extra, and then 2 full of the thin with a little extra. And now I can do a little taste comparison. Alright, so I'm just going to use these little half full jars. And this is the thicker. These are the thicker of the 2 sauces, you can see. And then you can see that this one is much thinner. So I'll just put a little dot of this hot sauce on a chip.
No. No. No.
And I will try it.
No.
So, but you can see it actually like stays on the chip. It's not runny. So that's the consistency I was going for.
I want some too.
It's too hot for you. You're not gonna like it. This
What?
is pepper sauce.
And
that is really good.
I want to eat some.
You can have a chip.
You like that one you're eating?
And then this is the thin sauce.
Hey!
And
Hey! That wasn't me.
you can see it spreads along the chip and spreads out. And it's still really good, but it's not as spicy either. And I'm sure that's because I took out so much of the pepper flavoring when I made the thick. So I'll just note that on these, thin and thick, and spicy and mild. But you guys, I'm so happy with these. And this is just my first round of hot sauce making, and I have ambitions to make many more, and I have still a bunch of peppers in my garden, one that I'm really excited to show you guys. And I'm excited to try myself because it's been like a year in the making. So I'm really happy with these two hot sauces that I've made today. My first ever homemade hot sauce. And I made Cayenne pepper sauce, homemade Tabasco sauce. Thank you guys for stopping by today and joining in on our journey here at Bare Bones Living. We'll catch you on the next one.